Hello and welcome to the VRchat. I'm Jason, your host. So, I've been doing a lot of deep diving over the last 24 hours. I even looked into not having a car on mobility, but purchasing a car with part of the money from the refund for the Pimax. Oh boy, not going to happen. Oh my god, cars are expensive. Even if you buy a cheap one like £1,000, you've got to then pay for insurance. Even if you're not driving it, you've got to have it insured if it's on the road. So therefore you've got to, which will cost thousands and thousands and thousands on top. And then you've got road tax, because of course you wouldn't be able to afford to buy a new car, so it wouldn't be one of the ones that get all the benefits of modern CO2 scrubbers and everything. So that's pretty much hit that nail on the head straight away. I mean, my idea was, what if you could get something like an old car? I mean, a completely mechanical car. No computer in it. No whatever they call the chips and that they have in them. Just a purely old-fashioned 1990s vehicle. Something like a Land Rover Defender or something like that. And I thought, you can probably get those cheap. No, they're all classed as classics now, and bloody hell, the prices are. Because the reason about having a car like that is my dad, when I was a kid, taught me a lot about the mechanical side of cars, because this was before we had all these chips and everything in it, and cars were much simpler, and you could basically repair your own car with a socket set and a Haynes manual. And that was an interesting time in life, because now cars are more computer than mechanical. I understand why, and believe me, I know how much better the ride is these days than those old vehicles. Oh my god. I remember sitting in the back of a Land Rover Defender on the benches, because it didn't have seats, it had benches. Wooden benches on the side, inside it and that. So yeah, I know the bad side to all that. But I thought it might be a wonderful project build. And if I had a drive to put it on, if I had a garage in my yard, my house was a different kind of house and had that kind of thing, then yes, that would have been, may have been an option in my. I would have probably bought a project car long time ago, and just tinkered with it over the years. Because I do love the mechanical side of cars. So that was a no-go straight away. But I wanted to research and see just how much, and we're talking to do it, even though it's pretty much impossible to do. I would have to, in fact it would be impossible, because there's lots of things in the way, but just even the funds. Motability is such an amazing charity setup, and kudos to the government for backing it and all that, because damn, what they allow for disabled people to do is amazing. So yeah, I'd say I'm 90% sure that a Dacia Jogger Extreme is going to be the one I'm going to go for. There's wonderful things like the Dacia Jogger. You can get a full camping set. You can get a way to turn the back end. Dacia actually sell Dacia. don't know why I pronounce it. Turn the entire back into a two-person bed, a full-size bed, and a tent that clips on the back to turn it into a full car camping thing. It's amazing. Not that I'd ever use it like that, but it's to have the chance of that. Now, leasing a vehicle is better for me than me buying a vehicle. In other words, in other parts as well, because think about it. My brain sort of jumps from project to project to project, knowing that I will get a new car, a new vehicle every 3 years, whichever I like. If I like the Dacia Jogger, then of course I'll get the next year's Dacia Jogger to replace it in 3 years' time, and so on that. And maybe it will go EV. Maybe in 3 years' time they'll have full EV setups in there. I won't have something stuck around my neck for the rest of the life. And because we'll always gain the newest vehicles, they'll all be covered by the lowest band of road tax and the lowest charges on the road and the best fuel efficiency. So the actual cycle of this, because you remember, before the Fairphone 5, I never bought a phone in my life. I always was contract phones, paid over months, and at the end of the contract, get a new phone. To me, that was always better, and it always worked well for Paola as well. So today's big project is this. Oh, before I do, I've looked into it, and it seems that you can't really use the Quest 3 or Quest 2 in a car, because it, how can I put it? Because it utilizes, just had a thought in my head, sorry, just I started thinking down one direction and my brain just popped up something in my head, and that happens sometimes. But yeah, they are trying to work out a way to allow people to use the Quest 3 like the Vision Pro. But at the moment, if your menu and everything, as soon as the car starts to move, will stay where it was and move away from you, and it's very not working at all. And anyway, it's a bad thing. This is why I'll probably go the augmented reality glasses and this little thing here. This is the EM680, or is it the 680? Smallest computer I own. Very competent computer. Ludicrously competent. I should have thought of that word before I said it. It's got 1, 2, 3 USBs, 1 HDMI, 2 USB 4s. It's be powered by, it's got a 2 terabyte hard drive in it, well, 2 terabyte M2, the tiny one, and it's got a 1 terabyte microSD card in it. This little baby computer here is going to be plugged in, set up, and yes, my brain's focused on this now. This happens sometimes. I shouldn't have picked it up, should I? It's so cute. You see, this is the idea of this is I could slot this in somewhere in the car. It does have an issue with one of the fans making noise, but I can solve that. But this is a 65 watt little gaming computer. Basically, you can game on it and everything. It's beautiful. More expansion than some big computers. This was being used as my home assistant computer. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. The baby Beryl's wandering around. Oh, come on, Beryl. Oh, come on, Beryl. You can come up and have a little snuggle. Little baby bark dog. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good girl. I just let them up out because it's 3:50. Well, 3:52. I've been up for a little bit. We went downstairs, didn't we? You went out because you wanted to go out, and they both went outside. They were both sleeping on my bed when I woke up, and they were so adorable. But they did need to get up and do a wee-wee, and now Belle's just wandering around before she goes to sleep. Oh, there we are. You can go right down. Get yourself into a nice, comfortable place. So many things. See, this may end up being the brains of the entertainment system for the car. I can connect a 4 terabyte my SSD to it. Of course, you don't play games like Cyberpunk on it, but it could be a core gaming system. Depending on how I set up the infrastructure. You have 2 monitors on this. Well, 2 displays. The first one would be one that would be on the back of the headrest or back of the actual seat, depending on what kind of seat it is. Once I go in the jogger, you can actually quite easily place a monitor. That would be the startup monitor, the monitor you start the thing up with. And then you add the X-Real headset once it's booted up, and you switch the X-Real headset, the augmented realities, as the primary. Because what you don't want is a display that, if the dasher jogger is moving around, you don't want to focus on a display that is moving from side to side and stuff. So, using the augmented reality glasses is a perfect thing to do. I really need to plug this. I'm going to plug it in over there and connect it all up to everything and see what we can do with it. Yeah, I'm on a ramble. I'm rambling. But I'm good. I'm enjoying myself. It's a splendiferous morning where I've got to sort through things out. Oh, I also need to do a shop. I need to do a Maxim turbo shop. I need to check. There's so many things, like I need to check my that's not a good thing. I just realised something. I just need to turn on my stuff. I turned off my storage device. My NAS storage, I gave it a break while it was doing an update. So I've turned it off. So pause this. Okay. It's actually 2 hours later now. I finally unpaused this. So I went down a rabbit hole, as it happens. My EM680 is now plugged in all over there. Windows installed. It's currently updating the BIOS to the 90 watt BIOS instead of the 65 watt BIOS. I've installed all the software and bits and pieces to it. I've organised my food shopping for Friday. I've just been on I've sorted all that. I've answered a couple of emails. I went downstairs, let the dogs out. Bruce has been crazy. You're crazy but aren't you, Bertie? And so on. This is what happens when my brain gets distracted by something. So yeah, and currently the firmware is just updating on that computer over there. I mean, people think I'm joking when I say I do stuff like that. It's like, just show you where. Oh, Bertie's over there. Bertie, chase the Bertie. Yep, there it is, doing its firmware update right now. And it's sitting on top of the other Menace phone over there. I connected it all up. This is what happens when my brain decides. As you can tell when the start of this video, my brain was wanting to go do something else. I was supposed to be doing this, but I wanted to do it. So I've just done all those bits and pieces. Oh, I had a shower this morning because my brain decided that I couldn't remember when I last had a shower. Now I remember I did have a shower a couple of days ago, but I also sorted my budget out and my finances and worked out everything. You know, sometimes you just got to go with the flow. So this is good. We'll be going downstairs in a bit. I've got a massive amount of stuff to sort out on the computer over there, as in start installing games, but I've only got a limited supply because I've already installed all the what I wanted in there movie wise and film. What's it done now? What's it done now? Let me just oopsie, actually it's it shut itself down. Is that bad or a good thing? Give me a sec. Okay, sorry. It was doing weird things. This is what happened. This is what happens with the Jason. He has to do it. He has to keep checking on things and make sure they're working. I'm going to have to go. I'll be back later. Let me pause this again. Okay, I've just ordered a fan for it because the fan's dying on it. I'm going to replace the fan with a Noctua fan on top, which will be better, much better for cooling and everything, especially seeing that I've just ramped it up to use more power and overclocked it and set it up. And now it's just doing the Windows update. I'm happy. This is what happens. This is what happens when Jason's doing stuff and planning stuff and moving stuff about, and oh my gosh. I have to wait. You look after you. Look after you. And I'm still off and off. I mean, you can see this is a perfect example of when my brain is wandering. Perfect example. I'm talking to a friend. I'm sorting out things. I'm searching stuff online. I'm doing a video at the same time. And I shouldn't be doing a video at the same time, but I am, because I want you to see the randomness that goes on in these situations where my brain is just so all over the place. It's not a day for focusing on anything. It's a day for... This is a classic autism, ADHD type thing where things get done halfway and things get moved around. I need to move. And I've just realised that I've started to use my iPhone again as my camera, because I prefer the quality of the camera on this to the quality of the camera on the Fairphone. Usually I have the Fairphone as the camera on here. I mix them and match. But this one's got slightly less panoramic, less FOV, or whatever you want to call it, but it's got more depth in it. So I prefer this camera to the other two cameras. So even though I don't use the iPhone, it's got no SIM card in, I don't use it for anything other than this actual thingy. It's a backup for it. Actually works really well. But the charge cable, I've still got the charge cable from using my Android phone, so I need to find my lightning cable charge that goes from down there to here. And once again, that's me. So pausing this again. There we are. I found my Apple connector charge thing to go in the ear if I need it. Mostly I remember to charge this over there during the night, so it'll last through my vlogs and everything. Oh, and now it's going back in a sec. I've just got to restart the other computer. Tell you what, one thing I really like about this AK Racing chair is how well, even with my weight, the wheels on it work. As you can see, I can swing over from there to the computer over there. I can swing over to my Amiga. I can swing over to my arcade machine. I can just move fluidly over to every part of my safe room. Yeah, I'm still as you can see, today is a prime example of my brain when it's in wander mode, when it wants to be doing lots of different things. I've just done that. I've got to go under the desk. I've got to connect this over to there. So we've got that cable. I've got to remove the cable. I've got to wind up the cable that's there so I don't lose it and put it back in the drawer for USB cables, because I have to make sure everything's there. And now my computer over there is rebooted, so I've got to go there. So okay, right, that's all sorted and doing it something. I need to actually, now while I'm doing all this, I need to look for a touch Give me a minute. This may take a while. Okay. I'm going to have to 3D print something. This is a I bought this long ago. It's got a camera, not a very good camera. It's a 7-inch HDMI display, but the important thing about it is its touch. It's got a touch end. It's got a HDMI connector there, and it's got one for power, one power thing, and one touch, so it can be touch. So I could use this as the touch screen on the back of a 3D print, something simple to contain all the some pieces. Hope it still works. And then we plug in a HDMI connector and see whether this works. If this works, then I can do keyboard input. It's a 7-inch screen. It's a 7-inch display for that little thing. That's a good thing. Yes, I had to dive through like massive amounts of technology to find this, because I had this as this I bought probably 2017, 2018. I was going to build a project back then. I believe this was part of that project. Not sure whether all of this is going to be still thingy, because it has been moved from house to house. It's been messed about, dropped. I want to test it right now. Backing him in. Okay, the printer downstairs is now printing out a case for this. Yeah, yep. Oh my God. My brain's a bit frazzled at the moment, as you can tell. I'm going to go downstairs soon and get the dog some food, sort out some bits and pieces. So in a couple of hours I should have a case for that, and I'll run some tests on it and so on. I'm going to need two USB-C, whatever. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting little project. This is what happens. This is what people don't see of me when my brain's on a complete rabid wombat event where I'm just all over the place and things will get part finished and then moved about and so on. I've got like, the bedroom is a complete mess because I opened up every drawer looking for this. I undid every bag that I store electronics in, and then I've got the little thing down here that's opened up and all the stuff's moved off it. The chest of stuff down there because I had to check whether the stuff was in there. Something else I've got to do. Okay, and something I've just been down another rabbit hole because even though I'll have a touch screen on there, I will need some kind of active use of something to use inside a car that can be used to control a computer. I use this here, but it's a Logitech. Brilliant little trackball thing. Can use it. Very accurate, very easy to use. Bluetooth. La 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 la. Just works like happy chicken soup vendors. So it is now 6:06 a.m. The printer downstairs is printing out a case for a 7-inch. I've 7-inch touchscreen. I've sorted out my finances. I've just saved them. That computer is ready for me to install Steam, and then I'll have to go through all the games I want to install on it, because I want to just put games on that it can handle and games that it can be used with. So yes, that's a plan. A plan of attack. A doobie plan of attack. Doobie doobie doobie. Right. I'll need I will need a lot of USB cables. That's going to be a thing. Long USB cables, USB 2 cables, USB 3 cables. So version C's, and the thing is, because I'll have to take it from where I'm going to sit the little computer, it's going to be sitting on the side behind the seats, probably velcroed in place, and it's going to have cables that go over the top of the door and down to the seat, and those cables are going to have to be loose enough to connect to this and anything else I need connecting to. And yes, Jason's on a roll of psychotic craziness at this moment in time. Yeah, my brain is just whizzing around with possibilities and weirdness and strange projects and half-thought ideas. But that's okay. I suppose I've got to go down and make foodiekins in a minute. Foodiekins. It's very distracting when I've got a computer over there that I want to work on. before I do anything else, I'm going to install Win back in Win. Okay, it's now 6:42 and there's 233 games set up to download on that computer. Now I'm going to go down and make something eat. So bye bye for now.